But these two, maybe combined, have two of the best resumes that we're going to see.
And I'll tell you a little bit about their styles right now. It's a lot like that.
UFC is what it is.
Sergio Flores, he's coming straight for you, and he's looking to take your head off. Chase Calloway, he wants to box, but he wants to get his shots in at the same time. He's not going to just run away.
And there it is, another takedown. Flores in the black trunks with the red trim, if you couldn't figure that out already, and Calloway in the blue and white trim. Like you said, he is not trying to disguise anything.
No, he is what you get. Chase Calloway, though, I will say, he's shown a bit of a weakness for some hard-nosed fighters, some very physical fighters. So if there was a style that was going to face off against Chase, that if I as a coach would want to face against Chase, it would be a guy like Sergio Flores.
It says, here are my hands, let's do this.
Yes.
If you're Calloway, how do you approach a guy like this? How do you approach a guy that's literally going to put his head down and get after you?
Clinch on the inside because you don't know what he's going to do. And then try not to let him get inside. So you jab, you move. Hopefully you can hit him with some clean shots, and it'll discourage him to the point where he's not just bull rushing in. The big thing is you got to counter. That's how you discourage somebody. If you don't want them punching you, you got to counter their combos. And right now, Chase is doing a great job just using movement to avoid the punches.
Is it almost a strategy for Calloway to kind of let Flores just run himself out, maybe get him a little tired with all the movement that he's doing, and then maybe you come on strong later?
I don't think he's trying to tire Flores out. I would hope at this point these guys are in condition. I think what he's trying to do is calm the fight down. He doesn't want it to get into a slugging match, so he's trying to defuse it a little bit.
Big left there from Flores.
And see, Chase had some good punches in those exchanges, but it's just the physicality of Flores kept him up against the ropes, and it kind of pushed Calloway back.
There was a good left from Calloway. Heading towards the latter stages here of the first round. I think once you get past kind of the shock and awe of Sergio Flores, you can really tell that Calloway is just a boxer. That was a good shot on the inside. He's landing combinations left and right from Calloway to end the first round. What great action as we'll send it to a timeout. Welcome back into Memorial Hall here in Kansas City, Kansas. Boy, the end of that first round put a big smile on your face. Some great action just right up close and personal.
You want to ask, how do you keep a guy like Flores from coming at you? By throwing hooks like Chase Calloway did in the last 10 seconds of that round. That was textbook.
They cleaned him a couple times, and here comes Flores once again.
And I will say, not just because of that last 10-second flurry, but legitimately I did believe Calloway won the first round. I thought he boxed Flores very well. And Flores, I think he's using his aggression to compensate for a lack of effective punching.
Oh, that's a big left hook to the side of the head. And so far, Flores has put on the aggressive show, but Calloway's the one that's landing the big shots.
You know, if I'm in Flores' corner, what I do is I say, look, Callaway has walked himself to the ropes pretty much on a whim every time Flores wants him to. The biggest problem is Flores just comes in with so much steam, he ends up falling into the ropes himself or driving into a left hook. See, that's what he needs to do. He needs to get right in front of Callaway and be willing to try to just stand there and work. Not try to bully him, try to box him on the inside.
Does it almost seem like Flores goes in kind of almost without a plan? He just gets in there to get in there?
I think he's looking to beat up Callaway. I mean, he looks at this like he's the bigger guy. He's a harder puncher. He can take a good hit, obviously. I think he's looking to beat up Callaway and land and grind him down. And also, power, as Flores trying to show his off.
Yep.
As much as power is a great asset, is something you can't teach, it also can be one of your biggest weaknesses. There have been plenty of fighters, I could list off names, of people who just rely on their power. They're looking for that one shot. And sometimes that gets you wild, like Flores is right now.
Well, he's got the mouth and nose of Callaway bloodied. Good combination from Callaway. Flores responds. Getting towards the end here of the second round. That was a big right to the chops. Callaway punches out of it beautifully. Look at this. It's a big left.
Let's go.
Wow, what a second round. Let's go into the blue corner and take a listen to the team Callaway.
You're in there, your right hand, left hook, he's going here, he's sucking air. You hear me? He's sucking fucking air, don't let him fool you. He's tired. Hey, look here, you gotta make your fucking fight, Chase. Hey, this is it, 3 minutes, big boy. Hey, if you wanna be it, you go get it. You win this round, you win the fight. I'm telling you. Deep breath. Deep breath. Feel good? Yep. Okay, keep touching your hard jab and bring it right hand, left hook, or left uppercut, right hand. Okay, it's easy, but you got to fucking make your fight. Don't put your hands up if you're there. You ain't got to move nowhere. Okay? Hands up, he's going to move back. You ready to go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then 1, 2, 5, 2.
Well, there you heard, you really translate for us, Tim, once again. I heard combinations, 1, 2, 3.
What he's saying is jab, right hand, left hook, and he wants him to pivot off of that. He wants him to stop trying to protect himself against the ropes. He wants him to move off the ropes. When Flores gets inside, Callaway needs to just get out of there. He's got the footwork to stay away from him for the next 3 rounds. It's a matter of if he'll use it.
Where do you have this fight scored as?
Right now I have it 1-1. I think the winner of this round wins the fight. I think Callaway has the ability to box Flores for 3 minutes, but I think Flores is just looking to beat up Callaway. It's going to be Callaway's stamina and his character in the ring. That's what it's going to come down to. Because we already know he's much more polished than Flores.
Yes. Both of these fighters selling out here in the 3rd round. A trip to Las Vegas on the line and a chance to represent Kansas City in the national tournament. Flores is just really winding up for a lot of these shots. Does that leave him open to counterpunching?
Oh, wide open. But he's breaking down Callaway right now.
It's a good right.
You know, we heard in the corner of Callaway, his father, his head trainer, Rob Callaway, former heavyweight title contender, he was saying, Flores, he's sucking wind. He's tired in there. I don't think he's tired. He gets energized by these punches.
He doesn't look tired at all, especially from that big left hand. That was a huge right.
Callaway, he's got to be throwing punches, then getting out. Right now, he's just letting Flores get inside, and he's still moving out effectively, but he needs to get his combo off before Flores gets his punches. But at this point, he may just be a little bit too battered and bruised.
Battered and bruised is a good way to describe it. A bloody nose sporting for Chase Callaway. That was a good right.
I'm telling you right now, win, lose, or draw, nobody wants to fight Flores.
No.
You're going to feel like you're in a car wreck the next morning.
Callaway feels like he's been in a car wreck right now. It's a good left. Big left right hook.
And I'll give these two a round of applause.
That was very good action towards the end of that third round. Chase Callaway, Sergio Flores putting on a show here at Memorial Hall. We'll have the decision right after this. Back to Memorial Hall here in Kansas City, Kansas. That 178-pound fight, Sergio Flores and Chase Callaway. A lot of great action in that one. What a great fight.
And it was Callaway's boxing ability versus Flores' physicality. Me personally, I think Flores was able to take it.
I think Flores landed the bigger shots. I think Callaway, you know, obviously was a little more polished, as you saw from the get-go, as Flores was just trying to ram his style down his throat. But I think you're right. I think Flores kind of dominated the fight. I don't think Callaway was able to box out enough. I don't think he was able to get off enough punches to compete with the kind of shots that Flores was landing. We'll get the official decision here momentarily, and then we'll have one of the most colorful personalities here ringside with us. We'll wait. We'll reveal that in a little bit.
Be a surprise.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, as far as what's going to... Two boxers get a round of applause. I'm interested to see how Flores' style will translate at Nationals.
Because you got great boxers there that will be able to box him. And Flores does get the victory out of the red corner. We're going to step aside very quickly, as again, congratulations to Sergio Flores. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we got a special guest here ringside back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dr. Ed Freeman Award. The presenter is Sean Scrappy from the UPS store. Let's give them a big round of applause. I'm going to go tell them.
Welcome back into Memorial Hall here in Kansas City, Kansas. It is time for the final bout of the evening. This is the big boys, the heavyweights. Eddie Guillen fighting out of Whatsoever, and Deshaun Webster from Community Boxing. This is the first time I've seen Community Boxing here on the card this evening. Webster out of the blue corner and Guillen out of the red corner. We'll start with Guillen. What can you tell us about Eddie?
Eddie, he's in your face. He's exactly what you want to see from a heavyweight, especially of his size, of his stature. He brings a lot of hooks, a lot of power, and a lot of excitement. We didn't see him last year at the Golden Gloves. He didn't make weight for the 201 weight class, but he's back. He says he's in great shape. But what you're going to see with these two, Deshaun Webster, even less experienced than Guillen. 22 bouts from Guillen, 11 from Webster. This is not what you're going to typically see at Nationals. These two not expected to do a whole lot necessarily, but they got a lot of raw athletic ability.
And when you see guys that are this big with the kind of footwork that is required to move around the ring, you cannot help but be impressed. Like you said, Webster, a guy who's been in this spot before, lost by decision last year, so maybe a bit of revenge on the mind of Deshaun Webster.
Yeah, you know, a bit. It wasn't against Eddie Guillen, though. And Eddie was the defending champ last year, or at least he would have been. So he may be a little bit out of his depth. I don't know. Deshaun Webster, I thought he looked pretty decent so far in the tournament, but it's a whole different animal when you're in with a whole different fighter.
Guillen in the red trunks, and Webster in the black trunks with the gold trim. Our final bout of the evening. Fighters touch gloves in the middle, and we're off and running here in round one.
Little side note, Eddie Guillen, one of the more active Twitter presences in the KC boxing scene.
Just like the guy we're going to hear from after the first round.
Yeah, you know it.
Tim Spears has a pretty good Twitter account, don't even.
At T Spears, baby.
So far, the feeling out period hasn't resulted in too many punches thrown. Of course, as soon as I say that, we have a quick exchange.
I mean, this is a bit of the type of matchup you saw in our last fight, or even the fight before. It's going to be Webster trying to box, Guillen trying to get on the inside. Guillen looks a lot more calm in the ring than I've seen him in the past. Sometimes he rushes himself a little bit, looking for that big punch, but I don't know if that's going to be to his advantage or detriment.
I think there was to his detriment as Webster landed a nice short left. And you can see Webster doing, at least it seems to be, he is trying to be the aggressor against the aggressive fighter, trying to throw before Guillen is able to throw hands.
Well, you always want to be first. You always want to stop your opponent's momentum. If you can keep them from throwing a combination, why wouldn't you? Especially against somebody like Guillen who has some power in both hands.
Fighters come together once again. We have not seen that big shot landed so far here in the first round. It looks to be pretty even.
Just a feeling out round. That sometimes happens with the heavyweights, but besides a little bit slower, you got a lot more power, which means they're a lot less inclined to take a shot.
That was a good one from Guillen. Those snaps the head of Webster back. As we approach the end of round one. Webster and Guillen going at it. As we approach the final seconds here of round one as the fighters come together. We're joined now ringside by someone, you know, you may be able to give a little more insight into this than Tim Spears can. We're joined by Cam Awesome here ringside. Cam, first off, thanks for coming down.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And now, you're a Golden Gloves champion, you're a national champion, but to come back here to see these guys get in the ring again, what does this event mean to you?
It means a lot to me. The Golden Gloves is primarily one of the reasons I got started fighting nationally, and it's it's a tournament with the most prestigious trophy. We get this beautiful Golden Glove ring. It's like a Super Bowl ring. It's got your name on it. It's got the location. And the only way to get there is to win nationals. The only way to get to nationals is through Kansas City Golden Gloves.
And, you know, the experience at nationals now, of course, the winners from this will be going to Las Vegas. What, if you could sit down with each one of these guys and give them your advice on what is the key to nationals, what would it be?
The advice I would give is train harder. Because there might be someone out there training harder than you, so you always got to keep on pushing and expect top competition in all 4 or 5 fights you'll have at nationals.
And you know, real quick, I want to get your take on this first round. What did you see in this first round from Eddie and Deshaun?
Eddie G's putting a lot of pressure on him. Deshaun was holding a little bit and was got called for pushing, but Deshaun's a strong guy. You can tell how strong he is.
Yeah, he looks like it. I don't want to get in there with him. Now, tell me, what are your future plans? Give me Cam Awesome in 5 years from now. I know next year there's a little something going on in Rio de Janeiro that you may want to be at.
Oh, is that next year?
Is that next year? I thought it was. I heard they were bringing golf back. I heard you were going to hit up the links is what it was.
471 days, but I'm not counting.
You're not counting at all. So that's Rio de Janeiro, and beyond that, you're the captain of the U.S. national team.
Yes.
You know, give me Cam Awesome in 5 years, hopefully with an Olympic gold medal.
Yes, I would like an Olympic gold medal in 5 years, and I would like to be in the same exact spot in 5 years talking to you or whoever it is that's covering the Kansas City Golden Gloves, because I'll be back to support these guys.
I'll be here. We'll count it down right now. 5 years from today, I'll be back. Wherever you are, wherever I'm at, I'm in.
All right.
I'm in. These two fighters coming together. A little more aggression here in the second round. Tim said it. Is the first round kind of a feeling out period? At least for heavyweights, does it seem to be more like that?
Yes, with the bigger guys, one punch can change a fight, and you don't want to get hit with that punch rushing in. So you feel each other out, see who has the power, and if you want to exchange with that guy. And Eddie's not afraid to exchange with anybody.
As it seemed like. It seems like him and Sergio Flores from the last fight. Those are two guys you do not want to stand toe-to-toe with.
No.
And just try to hit. You want to box him.
Yeah, Sergio's a heck of a fighter. He's explosive, he's got strength, he's got speed, he's got great head movement. And Chase has a lot of experience. So it was a good matchup. Oh, big shot landed.
Middle part of the second round here. How'd you have that first round scored?
Oh, it would be a close one. I would give. Oh.
There we go.
WWE.
As I say, usually that's in an octagon with a cage around it, one would assume. Yeah. Everybody's all right.
Tough guys. Tough guys with sportsmanship.
Yep.
We went to, in 2013, Eddie joined us in Utah for the Golden Glove Nationals, and he had 4 of the toughest fights in a row I've ever seen anyone do. I mean, he won everyone with heart. He was out-experienced by all these guys, and he took punches, he gave punches, and he fought 3 minutes and 30 seconds out of every 3-minute round.
And that's what it seems like. Guys from Kansas City, when they go to nationals, you know, they may not have the experience of guys, you know, that are coming out of California or something like that, but the heart and the stamina and the training, the amount of effort these guys put in, it seems like it's, I mean, really second to none.
Yeah, it's the great coaches we have here in Kansas City.
That's what Tim was talking about earlier. You know, you got guys from Flacco Ramirez, guys from Turner Boxing, where you're from, and it just seems like the amount of talent here, I think it's underrated nationally, personally.
Well, we've been ranked in top 3 in the country last 3 Golden Glove Nationals, so they know about us. They know we're coming.
All right, this second round, what'd you see real quick there?
Oh, besides that body slam, I see Eddie's landing a lot of clean punches. But this guy, he's still moving forward. He's still exchanging with Eddie. So it's going to be a tough one to judge.
All right, Cam. Hey, thank you so much, sir. We're going to step aside before we get to the final round.
Thank you.
Here in Kansas City, Missouri, the third and final round of the final bout here. It was great to have Cam Awesome on the program. I said he might be able to provide a little more insight. He hasn't won too much, you know, in his boxing career, but no, one of the more talented guys that has come out of Kansas City.
Yeah, he's been around a little bit. And, you know, tonight, this bout, this is kind of where it all starts. It wasn't long ago that Cam was in their same position. Cam got where he was in an extremely short amount of time. In a matter of about 6 years, Cam has gotten to where he is. So these guys, I'm not saying that in the next Cam F Awesome, but, you know, you never know what these guys could turn into during the national tournament. You never know what these guys could turn into just in a couple of bouts. They're so young, they're so athletic, and they got a lot of potential.
Right now it's turning into a great piece of boxing theater right here in front of us, this final round of the final fight. It's a close one so far. That was a good shot from Webster.
Like so many bouts before it tonight, I think it comes down to the third and final round. I think Webster boxed Guillen in the first round. I think Guillen got to Webster in the second round, and now it's a matter of who lands the more effective blows.
We also had that body slam in the second round. That
wasn't bad.
Right on our doorstep. You can see now the intensity level just ratcheted up all the more. I think both fighters know they need this round to get a victory.
Good left hook.
Now that is when you were talking about punching first. I think that's a good example of it.
Yeah, just catch him when he's coming in. Every time he gets within arm's length of you, you want to be punching. This is the last round. You got to close it out, put a bow on it.
Here comes Guillen once again, trying to give Webster no room to breathe. Good duck out by Webster. Here we go. Closing seconds of this third round. We're about done here. The 2015 Kansas City Golden Gloves. Good inside shot from Webster.
And these two fighters get to decide, does it come to a close in a flurry or a whimper? Because Guillen wants to close the show.
Oh, Webster! Goodness gracious.
That's what I'm talking about when I say catch him coming in. And that may have just won Webster the round. It may have won Webster the fight.
Just teed off. Huge right hand.
Guillen's got to do something to take this round back.
Cam said one punch can change a fight. That might have been it. And that is it. It's all over. What a shot from Deshaun Webster in the final 15 seconds. We'll get Tim's thoughts on that and the entire tournament when we come back.
Did you know that a wish granted gives a child and their family a chance to feel normal, stress-free, and may improve their condition?
Did you know it costs an average of $7,500 to grant one child's wish?
Did you know that in 2012, Make-A-Wish granted the wishes of 14,000 children with life-threatening illnesses?
Did you know that every 28 minutes a child is referred to Make-A-Wish? Did you know your gorilla athletes want to make just one of those wishes come true?
I'm Dylan Dolly, Make-A-Wish Chair for the Pittsburg State Student Athletic Advisory Committee. This year, Gorilla Student Athlete.
After the decision,
welcome back into Memorial Hall here in Kansas City, Kansas. The final fight of the night, the heavyweight division, Eddie Guillen and Deshaun Webster. Well, that final shot from Webster might have won him the fight. What do you think?
You know, the adage in football is any given Sunday. The adage in boxing is any given punch. And I think it was one punch from Deshaun Webster in that third round that won him this fight. And I think it's going to send him to Las Vegas.
You talked about when you're trying to catch him when he comes in. Guillen was on his way in. He was halfway there, and that big right hand really halted him.
And he wasn't even that rocked. It was just sometimes you catch him off balance, but you catch him hard off balance, and it's enough to convince the judges. That was a great job by both fighters. They both performed well. All of the fighters tonight performed well. And honestly, as a man who shamelessly plugs the Kansas City Golden Gloves, I'm very excited about this year's team going to Nationals.
That's what KMF Awesome said when he was up here, that this Kansas City team has always been so good in the last 3 years, been ranked in the top 3 when they go to Nationals. And Deshaun Webster is headed to Las Vegas. And I think you're absolutely right. I think that one punch, the fact that a count was given, was enough to win him that 3rd and final round.
Yeah, I believe so. It won him just like so many fights tonight that were won in the 3rd round. Calvin Metcalf, Sergio Flores, Marcel Davidson all won in the 3rd round definitively and are going on to Las Vegas. It was a great job, and I'm excited about this team. Tommy Hewitt-Johnson, Tevin Moore, both fought each other, but both are going to be on the team in different weight classes. Then we got Misael Reyes, who was a walkover champion, Marcel Davidson, Brian Clements, Marcus Davidson, Calvin Metcalf, Sergio Flores, Deshaun Webster, and KMF Awesome. I'm ready for this year. I'm so ready.
I think they're ready too. Well, it's been a great night. I always love coming here to the Golden Gloves. Big thanks to all of our Caps 13 crew, our director Cameron Molina, Javier Luna, Jacob Wheelander making a return to Caps 13. You're making a return too, Tim Spears. It's been a little while. We're going to say so long here from Memorial Hall. Tim, thank you once again for having us. It's been a great night. I'm Stephen McTeer saying so long from Kansas City.